the sound that saved a wretch like me.
He was a fun guy. He was a fun guy. But it's true, he did, for every one of us, I know for me, he made me feel very special. I was very special. You knew by his hugs how much he meant to him. And, I've missed that for a long time, because that was like 50 years ago or so. It was a long time ago. But that's a good memory that I have. And I remember just running from the house and like, where are we going? We're going to your house. But yeah.
I'm Carlos. I'm one of his oldest nephews. So I have a whole lot of stories. I'm not going to bust my uncle out, so, but I'm going to give you a few. All right, so first of all, that man is love. All right. Love. The epitome of love. Him. Okay. All right, I'm going to give you a couple stories. Uncle Jody used to take me to baseball games all the time and at the Coliseum. He's the reason why I'm an A's fan. All right. He would come into town, we would go to the Coliseum. We would sit in the right field bleachers, if y'all know. Mm-hmm. All the time. We had our own section. Everybody knew Uncle Joe. We would come there, he's chilling. He had his brew. They would have pictures of brew at the time. I would have my little plastic cup. He would fill it up. I'm talking about I'm 7, 8 years old. He's sitting right there by him. We're talking about Joe Rudy, Sal Bando. I'm going back. This is the age, 72, 73, 74, 75. I'm talking about the World Series age. So we're in the bleachers, stomping, doing our thing. I'm drinking, he's drinking. Just having a good time. Eating colossal dogs, eating nachos, all those types of things. My Uncle Jody was fun. He was fun. He never had a bad thing to say about anybody. I've never seen my uncle mad. Personally, I've never seen him. He always had good things to say about everyone. All of his family, all of his friends. It was always positive. He's truly gonna be missed. His spirit, he has such a positive spirit about himself all the time. He was a wonderful person to be around. He taught me so much.
And we have an uncle, I'm not gonna name his name, but he's a player. He was a player back in the day.
We ain't gonna say no.
But he like, I was little and he was kissing the neighbor next door. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess they're together. So later on in the day, he said, come on, you should come on to my house. I'm like, okay. So I go to his house, and he's with this woman named Sandy. and so then next thing you know, he kisses Sandy, and I looked at him and I said, Uncle, wasn't you just kissing Wanda? And he was like, what? And then the lady got all mad. She was like, oh my God. And so we left to go back to Granny house. I'm sad, I'm scared. So I'm like, I'm just,
We all knew it was him.
So he was pissed off, so I'm like scared. And Uncle Jody was like, what happened, Misha? I told him. He said, that's all right, here you go, $5. That's good you told him this.
So Uncle Jody had a way of making anybody and everybody feel like they special. They number one, they the top dog. I don't care where you at, how you feeling, he's gonna make you feel like you top dog number one. And from when we were little kids, Uncle Jody playing Santa Claus, we try not to tell them because we older than them, we do. You know, it's like, hey, that's a shh. Okay, we got Santa Claus in the house. I remember he was a contest for the Oakland A's, whatever it was. He had all of us kids in the neighborhood, the whole 9 yards.
Feeling
He put stickers all over his car.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, maybe we'll get on the news, we can see the car on there. I mean, it was just so many things that we had fun doing. And like me, Tina, which is my sister, Carlos and Anthony, we would go up to, whether it was Forest Hill, Colfax, whatever, and as kids, you know, it was uncle, but he wasn't like that type of uncle where he didn't want you around. He always had us kids with him. He, you know, he taught us how to fish. All my uncles taught us how to fish. We in the hospital, he was like, my mother was like, what you doing? He was like,
I'm fishing.
Get out of here. I'm like, okay, Uncle Jody, we gonna go fishing. And I was like, you remember?
Uncle Jody's in town. Yeah, we're gonna go have fun. So I was like, he was just fun. All around, just the happiest guy. Had me run with some fat little stuffies too. But you know, I don't mind doing that for him because I ain't nothing wrong with me. But, but I just want to say I love my uncle so much. Like all the memories I got to have. He gave me my little babies. These are my babies. I don't care. They're all for life, and they know it.
Right.
Alfredo.
Hi, Alfredo.
I just want to say, Theo Jody, he loved all of us. He always talked about everybody. Living with him. Living with him, it was fun. I got to hear all the stories about everybody. Taking him to his doctor visits, going fishing and stuff. He would tell about, or looking at pictures that were in the house. He would tell me all the stories about everybody. I just want to let you guys know, he loved all you guys, everybody.
Since I'm already up here, I might as well speak. A story for everybody. Everybody. There was not a story he wouldn't tell you once or twice. To his last moments, he had me on a mission. Me and Esmeralda, 2 o'clock in the morning. We were gonna carry this for the rest of our lives. He sent us on a mission to go get him lotto tickets. He loved his lotto tickets. I could not show up on a weekend and he'd be like, where's my lotto tickets? So he's got that $1 million lotto ticket in his coffin right now.
He was possibly the sweetest man I've ever met. Better than my dad. Literally, like going to his house, I've been to his house countless times. No matter what time of the day or night it was, Mr. Ocon was always there for us, always cooking for us, cleaning for us, Miss Rosemary. It didn't matter what it was. Whatever we wanted, he gave us, and including the grandkids. He literally shared so many stories. We had so many laughs. He tried to get me to do bad things too.
You family then. You family
The
then.
only bad thing I can tell you I've done is snuck him junk food, but when he wanted it. But other than that, that's it. I do have one story that I guess is funny to you guys. I went to take him to dialysis one morning for Ashley, and I was getting ready. We were pulling up, and I want to say one of the workers, one of the staff members, kindly opened the door, and she just opened the door and kind of like walked away. He tells me to go pull off to the side, and I'm like, why? I'm supposed to drop you off like right in front. Like Ashley's gonna kill me if I don't bring you to the houses. He goes, just go to the side really quick. And I was like, why? He goes and gets into his wheelchair, tells me to take the wheelchair out of the car, gets into his wheelchair, turns it to the side, pulls a joint out of his bag, and lights it. I'm like, wait, you can't light that over here. What are you doing? You cannot smoke before you go to my house. Are you crazy? And then I'm dropping you off there and you think this is my fault. He's like, oh, just come on.
God is good. Thank you, Papa, for supporting all of my hopes and dreams. Thank you for believing in me and telling me I could achieve anything. Thank you, Papa, for being my rock and the one I could always turn to. Thank you for always listening with non-judgmental ears to my truth. Thank you, Papa, for everything you taught me, both big and small. Thank you for modeling to me what it meant to be a good example. Thank you, Papa, for taking the time to spend with me as a young child. Thank you for all of your hard work to give me the best life. Thank you, Papa, for always showing up to every little event with a smile. Thank you for calming my nerves and assuring me everything would be all right. Thank you, Papa, for giving me the confidence to be myself no matter what. Thank you for telling me that I'm beautiful and letting me know that I'm enough. Thank you, Papa, for the love and memories you have given my little family. Thank you for being the best grandpa to my 3 little knucklehead babies. Thank you, Papa, for making me feel connected to you, even with miles in between us. Thank you for our long phone calls and endless stories I will cherish so much. Thank you, Papa, for your strength and being a fighter all of those years. Thank you for being, thank you for being my very own superhero whom I will always hold near. Thank you, Papa, for allowing me to be with you until the very end. Thank you for being who you are until we meet again.
There are so many memories I could share, so many stories, but I can't tell them all today. Because one, we'd be here all day, and 2, I'm not strong enough to go through every memory without breaking down. But what I will share, I share with love, laughter, and truth, because that's how my dad lived. Before he was Dad, before he was Papa Joe or Mr. Oakon, he was that wild, sharp, fearless kid from Oakland. A survivor, a hustler, a legend in his own right. He used to tell us stories about how he would hop freight trains with Auntie Minnie, Uncle Poncho, and Uncle Pete like it was Bart. That was just how they got to school, how they explored. They were kids with no ride, but a whole lot of courage. And if that wasn't enough, they jumped the fence at the A's Coliseum to watch the games for free. He treated that stadium like his personal backyard, and there were so many more stories. Some were so wild I'd stop him and say, "How are you even still alive?" And he'd just laugh and say, "I don't know." Because somehow through it all he made it. He lived life to the fullest. When I was around 10 years old, my dad had this big, loud black Chevy truck that could shake the block. Every morning at 4 a.m. when he would leave for work, and he'd turn it on, the cats on West Durham Street would scatter. My sister and I used to live for Friday nights at the beginning of the month, which was my dad's payday. That meant we got to go hop in the same truck and cruise down PFE Road with him at night to go to Winco and get all the goodies we wanted. And if you'd ever rode down PFE Road with him in the middle of the night, you knew what chaos felt like. He'd turn off the headlights, pour it through the dark, and hit every bump like we were on a roller coaster. We'd scream, we'd fly, we'd laugh, and we never felt unsafe because he was driving, we knew we were okay. But my dad wasn't just wild, he was present. He didn't just show up, he showed out. I remember him doing our school projects like he was entering a science fair himself. And in kindergarten, he came to class wearing a Barney t-shirt, and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. That was my dad. I was so proud of him. Every time we had to write an essay in class about our hero or our favorite person, I always wrote about him. Every time. And yeah, maybe my mom got a little jealous, but she always knew he was a good man, a good father, and we adored him. He also didn't play around. I got my mouth washed out with soap more than once, spanked, put in the corner. He didn't have to say much, he just knew. And I was scared of him, but I loved him so much. I think everyone was a little scared of my dad. He had that presence. He gave us discipline, he gave us protection, and he gave us joy. Saturday mornings were sacred. We'd wake up to the smell of biscuits and bacon and hear music blasting from the garage or the backyard. He played everything, Tower of Power, Earth, Wind and Fire, James Brown. For a while I thought I was James Brown. He'd yell, say it loud, and I'd shout, I'm black and I'm proud. He was a walking encyclopedia. I could ask him anything about sports, nature, history, life, and he had an answer. Fast, confident. It wasn't until I got older that I realized he may not have always been right, but to me, he always felt right. We didn't always have a lot of money growing up, but I didn't really understand that at the time, because my dad gave us everything that mattered. He made life fun, he made it feel rich through the lessons he taught and experiences he gave us, and we felt like the richest kids in the world. I remember sometimes we'd want something and he'd say, I don't have any money. And I'd say, it's okay, just go to the machine, Dad. I was talking about the ATM like it was some money box. That's how much faith I had in him. I just thought if I needed something, he'd make it happen, because that's what he always did. From a young age, I remember him always being sick. That came with having older parents, I guess. But he still showed up. I remember when I played youth rec basketball in 4th grade, and he came out to run with me. I could tell that it hurt. But he still did it because I asked him to. And because he never wanted to miss anything. There was another time late at night. I was little, I snuck into the hallway and I peeked into the kitchen. He didn't know I was there. I saw him standing at the counter sobbing. And he said to my mom, I'm in so much pain. She held him right. That was one of the first times I truly understood how much he suffered and how much he kept going anyway. He had been in pain for so many years, but he was so strong. Even on his last days in hospice, he was sitting up, dancing, laughing, asking for food, trying to eat, trying to live. He didn't want to miss a single moment. He didn't want us to miss one either. In his own way, he taught me how to love, how to fight, how to show up, how to stay strong. And I love him, I'll miss him, and I'll honor him every single day and every single thing that I do. When things get hard, I know they will. I'll keep going because he did. He never gave up on us. His strength is now mine to carry.
On behalf of the United States Air Force and the Service Veterans of Northern California Volunteer Honor Guard, it is my honor to present you with these shell casings representing the rifle volleys performed here today. The 3 rifle volleys, duty, honor, country, signify that your loved one has left the field of battle for the final time and is now at rest. May you find comfort in knowing that their faithful service, honorable character, bravery, and sacrifice will never be forgotten. They are buried with honor.
This concludes the military honors portion of the service. This time we'll step out and lead you out before. Thank you.
I feel like it's important for me to say something because I didn't get to come yesterday, so I just want to make sure I said what I need to say. Me and Uncle Jody got really close in the last year or 2 of his life. He got to meet Pam. We went to his house. We got taken care of him for a couple days. One of my most positive memories of him is when I was outside in his backyard. I said, Pam, watch Uncle Jody for me, please. He's going outside real fast. She ran outside and said, Mom, Uncle Jody's sneaking a popsicle.
Thank you for coming. I met Jody on her wedding day. He was our best man. From that day on, I knew he was a forever friend. He had a heart of gold, always there if you needed him. He was funny, kind, stubborn, and easy to get along with. He was my husband, Richard's best friend. He was our children's Uncle Jody. Even though Richard and Jody weren't in vested health, they made it a point to keep in touch. That's true friendship, good and bad times. He was a good son, brother, husband, father, grandfather, uncle, and friend. He loved his wife, Rosemary, daughters, Arturo, and Ashley. His grandsons, Trey, Zane, Devin, and Cruz were his pride and joy. Through Jody, I met a wonderful family. The O'Con family. Mom and Pop's O'Con raised a beautiful family. They taught their children to love God, family, the A's, and the Raiders. I know he's looking down on us saying, I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Henceforth there is laid upon for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord will award me on that day. Being absent with the body is being present with the Lord. He's just a little ahead of us.